Welcome, welcome to today's episode where we dive deeper into how to feel negative feelings, how to dig yourself out of a hole when you feel that the negative feelings are kind of taking over. Whatever you are going through, it can be a huge challenge, it can be overwhelm, it can be anxiety, it can be certain feelings, it can be certain things happening in your life, grief, you lost someone, any specific situation, any specific feeling that you feel that is just too much and you are sinking into a hole. And I know that you know exactly what I talk about when things feel just too much to handle, and you feel that you are just sinking into this hole. And it makes you even worse when you are thinking that now you are not a good enough mom because you are not capable of showing up as you want to. So, this is what I really want to talk about today because there is a huge misconception here we will talk about. I'll tell you what you don't want to do if you want to get out of that hole, what you don't want to do and the two things that you want to do. And I'm going to tell you how to dig yourself out of that hole in a way that's really serving you, and it is really how it works. I'm going to tell you also a little bit about my experience with this, how I'm doing it. And I really truly hope that wherever you are, whatever kind of challenge you're going through, most probably because of the title, you are listening to this episode because you are either right now in that situation when things are rather challenging, painful, struggle, or just recently you went through these emotions. I really hope that you are going to really walk away with empowerment because my goal with this episode is to demystify a lot of things around this. Talk about toxic positivity. Like, we don't want to do that. What I want is really for you to feel empowered and that you are a good enough mom, even when life is challenging and things are not rainbows and daisies. So let's jump in. First, there is this huge misconception that you are a good enough mom when you are happy. Like, if you're a good enough mom, if you would be a good enough mom, then you would be able to just enjoy it 24/7, be joyful, be happy. And then when you have your valid feelings, which are overwhelm, despair, sadness, grief, whatever is coming up for you, then there's something wrong with you. Then you have to do, like, urgently, you have to do something with yourself about that because then you are not a good enough mom. And this is real because I've heard this from my clients, but I'm seeing this also over and over again everywhere on social media when moms are really struggling with their own feelings, with their own reality. And it's not even enough that they are struggling with whatever they are facing. They add this additional layer of pain that I'm really a bad mom, but I just cannot show up for my kids the way I want. I cannot pretend anymore that I enjoy, playing with whatever at the end of the day. How can I hide this from my little girl? These type of things are going on over and over again. So the misconception here is that you have to show up 100% happy and joyful in order to be a good enough mom. And that's crap because we are humans. It is impossible to enjoy every second of it. It is impossible to feel happiness and joy all of the time. That is not human. We humans have this life which is 50-50, 50 bad, 50 like really positive and good. Like, we have the light and the darkness. We have good feelings and uncomfortable feelings. Like, we have it all. So when you are showing up as you are, the human version of you, it also contains that you can get angry, you can get stressed, you can feel sadness, disappointment, despair, whatever comes up for you, it is okay and valid. There's nothing to hide from your children. So obviously we don't want to sink into and get stuck in that negativity, in that hole, in that negative feeling. And I'll tell you how to dig yourself out of that hole. But first, like step zero, let ourselves just like give ourselves the permission to be a human and to have that negative feeling and that have that whatever feeling you have, that uncomfortable, really challenging feeling that you want to mask and hide, because we are humans and that means that we have it all. So when you feel like, oh, I had a shitty day, I have this stressful, challenging situation in my day, and then I have to hide it from my kids, I would call out right there that, because you don't have to hide anything. You don't have to throw your emotions on your kids. You don't have to tell them what is not age appropriate for them. You don't have to burden them with your like negative feelings or burden, but you don't even have to hide it. It's so okay to state like, mommy has a tiring day today. Sorry, I'm just upset today. Sorry, I feel really sad or disappointed today. Like, it's okay. You don't have to hide it. That is step zero, okay? Then what I really want you to think about when you are in that feeling, when you are in that negativity and you try to force yourself to feel better, to hide it, to mask it for your kids, that is toxic positivity. Toxic positivity says that you are worthy only when you are positive. Like as a mother, you are a good enough mom only when you are happy and joyful. That's toxic positivity. That's not allowing yourself to be a human and having a human experience, but like forcing yourself to the other side when you are not ready yet. Like you are like gaslighting yourself, your experience, your valid feelings, and pushing yourself to the positive rainbows and daisies side. That is toxic positivity that we don't want. And I want to put this here not as a pressure for you, but something that you can utilize later on when we are really diving deeper into how you dig yourself out of that hole. Is that I'm sure that you notice that our kids are super attuned to us. Like when you are happy, when you are energized, when you are active, they are like with their little radars, they are really like jumping on that energy. So they are feeling what you feel. And I don't want to pressure you with this, like, yeah, Esther, you see, that's why I don't want to feel XYZ, uncomfortable feeling. I don't want to pressure my kids with that feeling. This is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying here is you can use this really empowering and interesting fact that they say actually that up until like the smaller they are, the more they are attuned to our energy. But they say that it can go up till like 9 years, that they are really with their little radars, they are very much attuned to our energy. And like you can use it as just an empowerment tool, like, okay, an extra motivation for me to dig myself out of this hole, an extra motivation for me to feel better when I'm ready. So you are not negating your actual feelings, you're not gaslighting yourself, but this is an extra motivation for yourself to actually want to get out of that hole. But it's not like you have to do it right away and you have to show up in this toxic positivity, happy and joyful all of the time. So there are two don'ts and two do's that I want to share with you today, which will help you to actually dig yourself out of that hole. So first of all, we started with level zero, that being in a hole and like just having negative experiences, feeling uncomfortable feelings, feeling anything which is like what we normally try to resist and just push away: anxiety, overwhelm, sadness, grief, disappointment. Like, it's okay, whatever you are going through, whatever feeling you have, it is valid. Give yourself a hug and it is okay. There is nothing wrong. You are not broken. We are humans who have positive and negative feelings. There are two things that I want you to remember that you don't want to do when you are in this challenging situation and you feel like you're just sinking into a hole. The number one don't, it is you don't want to listen to your automatic thoughts. Remember that our human brain has a negative bias. The human brain looks for what is wrong, what can go wrong, and then really comes up with all the evidence. So when you are already in that hole, when you already have that challenge, your brain is going to serve you with all the negative evidence, like why it's going to be like that, why it's not going to work for you, why you cannot get rid of this, why you cannot change this. Like when you just accept all your automatic thoughts as truth, and whatever your brain is telling you that it's never gonna work with me, it's never gonna work for me, it's never gonna work out, like whatever your brain is telling you, those automatic thoughts are just automatic thoughts, sentences from your brain. Don't listen to those automatic thoughts unfiltered as something that just are the ultimate truth, because they're not. They are just sentences in your brain. And when you are already in that hole, most probably you have a bunch of evidence already why you can feel shit. You are feeling shit already, and then you have a lot of things already in your brain, and then your brain is going to look for the evidence to avoid cognitive dissonance. So your brain is going to look for the evidence why you can feel like this. And then when you don't filter that, when you don't supervise your brain, this is just going to make you even spiral down further. So the first don't listen unfiltered to your automatic thoughts about your situation, about whatever is going on in your life. Number two, which is the number two don't, is don't mask it. You don't have to pretend that you are okay. You don't have to mask it and hide it from your kids that mommy is happy all of the time. Remember, they are learning emotions and emotional management from us. It's okay to feel any feeling. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to feel any feeling, and they are learning it from us. Don't mask it. Don't hide it. Don't force yourself into the toxic positivity that you should not feel like this. Don't do that. It is not going to help with the situation. It is not going to dig yourself out of that hole. It is just going to create an extra layer of pain because you are not even allowing yourself to feel whatever it is going on. So don't mask it. Don't force yourself right away into the rainbows and daisies land when you don't feel ready yet. And then there are two do's that you can actually do to dig yourself out of that hole. Because what we want to is not letting ourselves be stuck and stay in that hole. Whatever challenge life throws at us, whatever we are feeling, obviously we don't want to stay there either. So, first of all, it is super important to learn how we can allow feelings. Just processing feelings, it really starts here, like allowing whatever is going on in your body. Don't connect with your brain at this point of time because the brain is just going to talk shit, having all the evidence why you can feel like this shit. Connect with your body. So the first do is connect with your body and allowing the feeling to be there. And like really just describe it to yourself out loud or in your head, or you can just really feel into the sensations. Where is the tension? Where is it in your stomach, in your chest, in your head? Like what is happening in your body? So the number one do when you feel that you are really in this hole is that, okay, what do I feel in my body? What is the sensation in my body? Where do I feel it? And just allow it for a moment. So the number one do was just allow the feeling, whatever sensation you have in your body. And then the number two, again, you want to work with the feeling. it's very important to understand that whatever we do or don't do, we do it or don't do it because of a feeling. The feeling is always the fuel for our actions. So when you feel like shit and you are sinking in that hole, first of all, just allowing that feeling. And then when you allowed it already, like you don't resist it, you don't want to push it away, then obviously you want to work with that feeling. You don't want to keep sinking into despair or sadness or anxiety or overwhelm. When you processed it, when you allowed it, then you can work with that. You can work with your body, with somatic techniques to actually like release it from your body. You can release like these heavy sensations, these emotions that have built up in your body. My best favorite techniques are EFT or shaking. And there are several other techniques that I teach to my clients, like how you can work with the emotion. We don't want to like fight it. We don't want to resist it. We want to allow it and then work with it. So the number to do is when you allowed it already, then you work with the feeling. Like you know where it is in your body. And if you want, when you are ready, if you want to change it, then you can release it from your body. Then you can use EFT, shaking, and other somatic techniques to just release it, to really like decrease the intensity in your body. What is super important is when you did like you did the don't, like you didn't do what I suggested that you don't do, and when you did the do's, like allowed it and worked with the feelings, then you are already on this level when you can remind yourself of these two truths. And I have these two truths already in my mind, whatever now really life throws at me. So my life is not rainbows and daisies at all either. I am a human being. I have my struggles. And just because I'm a coach and just because I have the tools, it doesn't mean that it's easy or that I don't feel negative feelings. I do a lot. I am struggling a lot. So these are the two truths that really help me so much when I feel that I would sink back into a hole. When things are a lot and really challenging for me, then these are the two truths that I am reminding myself and helps me to like come back to that empowered state that I want for you to. The number one truth is that you are capable of feeling any feeling. So what we talked about how to dig yourself out of that hole, and I was talking about like allowing the feeling and then working with the feeling. This ultimate truth that helps me when I'm really struggling with a certain uncomfortable feeling is that you are capable. Just remind yourself that you are capable of feeling any feeling, whatever that is in your body. Sorry, whatever you are feeling, you are capable of feeling that. A feeling is a vibration in our body. Yes, it can be uncomfortable, but a feeling itself cannot kill you. A feeling is a vibration in your body, and you are capable of feeling any feeling. It kind of takes a little bit off the edge. When you are suffering so much, so many of the times, how much you are suffering is the additional layer of the resistance that we should not feel like this, or I'll feel like this forever, like what we add with our brain. So when you're just allowing the feeling and you remind yourself that you are capable of feeling any feeling, it kind of takes off a little bit the edge. Number two, which I want you to remember forever, is that you get to choose how you want to react in a certain situation. So, whatever you have, whatever struggle you have, grief, sadness, disappointment, failures, like whatever you have and whatever you are struggling with, You get to choose how you want to react. And this is the empowered state. We cannot rush it. It's not like when you are in the deepest deep, and you haven't processed your feelings, you haven't allowed yet the feelings, you are fighting it, you want to mask it, you are resisting it, and then you jump into the empowered state. That doesn't work. But when you did that already, when you allowed the feeling, when you work with the feeling, then you are in that state when you get to remind yourself that when I'm ready, I get to choose how I want to react. Whatever the circumstance is, I can take the responsibility, the power over how I want to feel, how I want to think about this. And that state is empowerment. So when you feel empowered, it doesn't necessarily feel super nice, super comfortable. It's not like joy or happiness. Empowerment is a strong feeling, rather a good one because it feels strong and confident, but at the same time, there is a pinch of responsibility, power, kind of an action part in it, which which feels a little bit scary. So empowerment feeling is not only like nice, it's a strong feeling. It empowers you. And it's definitely so much better than feeling powerless in the whole. But empowerment is really this strong, confident state when you are saying that I am capable of feeling any feeling, and I get to choose when I'm ready. I get to choose how I want to react. So in my personal life, I remember vividly when I was in postnatal depression, then there was the depression itself, like there was this hopeless, powerless feeling of sinking into the hole that this is going to be like this forever. I'm not cut out for motherhood, etc. All the shit, all the self-talk we talked about earlier on this podcast, like how kind of a shitty self-talk I had, and I was just sinking into the hole. But the other part of staying and being stuck in that hole was more about fighting the feelings. So I had the state of I was depressed, I was talking shit to myself, but at the same time, the activization, any type of activization I felt in myself was more of fighting that reality. Like, I should not feel like this. My baby doesn't deserve this. So it was not coming out of the hole. I was just fighting in the hole. Like, before I met my coach and she helped me to reframe my self-talk, my thoughts, and how I was seeing my reality and my future. Up until that point, I was really in the hole. Like I was digging even deeper and deeper in the hole because I was either feeling shit or I was resisting feeling shit because I should not, right? So then up recently also, like I've had some challenging situations and parts, and what I recognize that it's really working for me is like I'm not pressuring myself into toxic positivity. I'm not pressuring myself out of that hole right away because it would not work. It would be like up and down, up and down, up and down, jumping back to the hole. What I do is, first of all, I allow myself to just have a half day off, a day off. I'm watching my TV series, or I'm doing something which is like taking my mind off whatever the challenge is. And it's not avoiding it. I do it like on purpose because I know that I just need a moment to just rest, to avoid burnout, whatever I'm pushing on so much. And then if you have an hour, if you have a half an hour, like whatever the break you can give yourself from that challenge, like just giving yourself the rest. And then I do something active, small steps, but I do something active to get back into that empowered state, to not pressuring myself into seeing things positively or being hopeful and whatever regarding my situation if I'm not ready yet, but I make myself do something active. I go to the gym anyhow to feel that I have the energy in my body. Then I do a small active action, like something which is like active, not a passive action, not something that you are consuming, but you are doing something, small things. And that small thing is going to activate you into that mode, that little shift that you might need to remember these two truths, that whatever you are going through is okay. You are not a bad mom just because you have a challenging period or you have a bad feeling or you have an uncomfortable feeling now. It is valid, it is okay. And then the other truth is that you get to choose when you're ready. You get to choose how you want to react, how you want to show up, how you want to feel, how you want to think in a certain situation. So, anytime you are going through a challenging period, anytime you have this negative feeling pulling you into a hole, then remember this episode, come back to this episode, re listen what you can do about it. So, first of all, allowing yourself the feelings, allowing yourself and connecting with the sensation, working with the feeling, not listening to your negative bias brain. And then when you are ready, without the pressure, without the rush, then feeling this empowered feeling, feeling that you have the power and the responsibility over how you want to feel, how you want to react in a certain situation. And you are a good enough mom by doing your best, by being a human being. And this is okay that life is 50-50, and sometimes we are going through some challenging periods. If you need help with how to connect with your feelings, how to release your feelings, I can help you with somatic techniques with your unconscious mind. At this point of time, I'm working one on one. You can check my availability on my website. I can pop here also the contact link on the show notes. If you need my help, I will be more than happy to help you. How you can release those feelings, how you can work with those feelings. Because the reality is, we have never been taught emotional management. We have never been taught how to feel, how to process, how to change our feelings. So if you're struggling with that, you are not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. We have never been told that. So I would be more than happy to help you with that. And remember that you are already a good enough mom by showing up, being your human version, and doing your best. It was my honor to talk to you today. Talk to you soon. Bye.